The more I had to use my alternative routes, the more and more I got annoyed. Nobody likes construction work. Nobody likes construction work. This architect must have laid out specific dimensions. Could I be a masterpiece that somebody is working on? You cannot pour out from an empty cup. Allow these dreams to come into fulfillment by believing and by working. Welcome to the Mo Chunk Show. So I've got a chit chat with Chunky stroke story time type of video going on today. The title of this video is Nobody Likes Construction Work, and I couldn't think of any other name to call it other than that for reasons that you will see as the video goes along. But without further ado, I'm just going to jump straight into the story time. When uni started, I noticed that there was a lot of construction work going on. There were building sites on main sites in my university, such as near the library, near lecture theatres that people would have to use, including myself, and one that probably didn't affect everybody, but near the labs. The reason why most people don't like construction work is that it obstructs your natural or normal order of things. So the way you would normally get to places, the routes you would normally take, that is now being obstructed, where there's scaffolding, all sorts of things just blocking your way. And the more I had to use my alternative routes, the more and more I got annoyed. I started grumbling. I was thinking, what the hell are they building anyway? Like, why is this going on for so long? My route has been interrupted. I'm having to go the longer way around. So one day I decided to I don't know, I was a bit insightful one day, and I noticed they put a sign up. I'm not sure what to call it, but I'm going to call it an architectural blueprint. If I am wrong, do correct me. The architecture's blueprint of what they want the final project or the final outcome of the project to be. Space that they were converting used to be a car park, and they're trying to make it a nice open recreational zone for students. It was at this moment when I was studying this poster that God started ministering to me, and those things that God ministered to me and revealed to me using the scenario of construction work as a sort of metaphor to life, I'm going to share with you now. I felt like God was saying to me, I just kept hearing, nobody likes construction work. Nobody likes construction work. Nobody likes construction work. So this was just resonating and just sticking to my head a little bit. And I realized that up until this point, I'd only considered myself in this big picture of what's actually going on. I never considered the fact that there are workers in there laying out the bricks, that are putting down the tiles, that are mixing up all the cement, that are actually doing the work in there. And these workers are trying to follow this blueprint that this architect had laid down prior to them being hired to come and do the job. I delved a little deeper and I said, can I for a second take myself out of the position of the passerby and put myself almost into the construction work? In fact, to take it a bit further, could I be the construction work? Could I be a masterpiece that somebody is working on, that somebody is building daily? Could there be a blueprint for my life that this architect or some architect somewhere had designed? Now, if truly this architect exists, this architect had to have had an idea. This architect had to have grabbed a pencil or pen and started to pour out ideas onto a piece of paper to form the blueprint. This architect must have laid out specific dimensions. This is going to be here. This is going to be square over here. This, I want it to have a curved shape. For the masterpiece to really work, had to be specific. This architect also analyzed this project and estimated a time for its completion. And even, in fact, this architect probably, this car park, once it's done, people have to utilize it. So this architect probably also took that into consideration. Will this be usable? Is this practical enough for the people that we're making this for to use it? All of this analysis had to take place before the project began. Now, this architect then hired some builders and he gave them this blueprint and he asked them to work on it diligently so that this thing might be completed in the time frame that he had planned or proposed for it to be finished. And I just kept, you know there are moments where it's like hits blunt. I was just hitting a lot of those moments. I then thought, okay, there could be two main interpretations that this could actually take. Now, I really struggled to say the word purpose. Purpose. Don't laugh at me, but yeah. Okay, the first interpretation, perhaps I am a builder working on this thing called destiny, nicknamed purpose. And God has given me the blueprint and he has given me goals, he has given me visions, he's given me ideas of how to achieve this main goal, which is destiny. The second interpretation is perhaps I myself am the project and this architect has hired different workers to build this project up. Now, relating this to life, these workers are the things that develop me, myself, into what I need to become for this wider destiny, for this wider goal, for this wider purpose to be achieved. Perhaps there are things within me that must develop before I can actually start to walk towards this destiny. The builders could be my character. The builders could be my helpers of destiny, so people that help you, be my friends. The builders could be situations I find myself in which may bring me joy, which may bring me pain. The builders could be things that make me me at the end of the day. What I found out is in both instances, this architect had the blueprint before the project even began. The first verse that comes to mind, Jeremiah 1:5, and I'm going to read it so I don't read it wrong. Before you were in your mother's womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations. There's 3 levels to that. So before you were even conceived, that this architect knew you, like he knows everything he wants you to be. Before you were born, before you came to life, you were set apart from every other individual on this planet. And this architect appointed you as a prophet for the nations. Your destiny was given to you, even before you achieved it. I was just thinking, all of this from construction work, huh? In a nutshell, before I was conceived, this amazing God that I serve had already formed my blueprint, signed, sealed, and delivered. And the amazing thing about construction work as well is that in the heat of it, you will notice that it is covered, that people have to walk around it. Now, are you in that scenario whereby there is some work going on in you right now that a lot of things and a lot of people have to be shut out for the moment? Have you ever found yourself not having time for people? Have you ever found yourself not having time for trivial things anymore because there's just so much going on with you that you need to work on yourself right now so the future can be bright? Something I've found, especially this year, is that when God is molding you, you have to take coverage. So these things can truly be perfected. If you are in that situation and you're feeling like friends are complaining about you, family are complaining about you, you don't have time for me anymore, you don't have this, as much as we want to make time for people, sometimes you have to prioritize yourself and don't fight the process. Remember that the blueprint is there. These workers have already been assigned to help you, so just let it flow. And for these reasons, you just need to believe. You just need to register these ideas, allow these dreams to come into fulfillment by believing and by working. The Bible says faith without works is dead. Now, I personally am going through some construction work of my own, and through this ministration and through these revelations from God, I realized that God has been breaking me, like really breaking me down and remolding me. It's been difficult because I am a people pleaser. I like to be there for everybody. These tough moments are what I require to have a beautiful finish. Nobody likes construction work, but it is required for you to go through the fire to produce a beautiful finish. Earlier this year, during the summer, I went to an event. What was it called? I'll put it right here when I remember. It was a really good event. There was so many amazing women in the building just talking about their projects and things they've been working on, how they've been helping the community. It was just amazing. And there was a particular lady and she said something. She said, "You cannot pour out from an empty cup." And that just stuck with me. There's been so much. I think I shared with you guys, my 2015 was so tough, and to the point where I was dealing with anxiety and, dare I say it, depression. Towards the end of last year was me coming out of that, and this year I believe a lot of healing has gone on. Like I was saying, a lot of breaking down and remolding. So a lot of refinding myself has been taking place this year. And when she said that, it just resonated with me, and I just realized that I might need to take a step back from a lot of the things I'm doing and actually allow God to fill me up. Right, for me, and this is me allowing you into my truth right now, my journey as a YouTuber has not been the most easiest thing. There have been amazing moments, there have been amazing opportunities, but I cannot ignore that there have been some projects that I have started on, had amazing impacts, and when I try to redo them or when I try to continue them, they don't have the same amount of views, they don't get the same amount of reception they get when I carry it on. And also there have been projects that I thought this will really work, this is going to engage people, and they didn't work out. And there's been projects as well where I thought this might not work that well, and you guys loved it. And for me, this inconsistency screamed to me that this construction work might not have been completed just yet. I felt like in that moment I hadn't really allowed God to perfect a lot of the things he was trying to perfect in my life. I kind of said to myself, can I just go back to the basics for a second? Can I re-solidify my foundations and then build up? Because a house that is not built on a solid foundation will never stand. I am beyond grateful for what God has started in my life. And I know in due time, he will perfect and he will complete it. I also want you guys to realize that as I am saying these things, destiny is not a destination, it's a journey. So even these things, the inconsistency, the things that didn't work out quite well, it's all building up, it's all working out for my good. If you believe that's for you, hold on to it. As we go into the new year, 2017, I want every single one of you watching this, and I know my subscribers are beautiful people that are working on themselves daily, and I know that's why you watch me. So every single person that's watching this, I really want you to start thinking about those dreams, those visions, those ideas, those goals that God has placed in your heart, and start thinking about how you can work towards them. Start praying for your moments of covering, because it's in them that you become perfected. And in those moments, you're going to need God to stay strong, to hold on to that faith where it seems like there's no hope anymore. Those are critical moments. Step 2, you need to ask for clarity. Step 3, take cover. Even when you get the things that you have prayed for, please keep praying, because there are forces that are waiting for you to just be a little bit weak in the spirit, that moment of weakness, and they just rush in. So please continue to cover your dreams and your goals with the blood of Jesus. I believe if you go into 2017 with the determination to be broken down and remolded, come December 2017, you're going to have so many testimonies, and it will set the foundation for a lot of wonderful things that are going to come in your future. So final words, I just wanted to emphasize the fact that timescales, they change. An amazing thing about being a Christian, being a human being in fact, is that we have free will. And although there might be this blueprint, because of the things we do, the decisions we make sometimes, the timescale might be altered. Not the blueprint itself, because God's word never changes. God's plan for you never changes. But the route that you might take to get to it might be shifted, meaning it might take a longer time. And don't fret in that moment. Just continue to trust that this blueprint exists, and you will get there. And with that, I'm going to wrap up the video. I haven't received a lot of emails from you guys recently, and I do know I have been very inconsistent, but if there is anything that you feel like you need to ask me, I'm going to put my email right here. I want to hear from you guys, and I will try my best to advise you in the best possible way that I can. Make sure you like this video, guys, if you liked it. Make sure you share with your friends, and also subscribe to my channel for more. Until next time, peace and love, peace and chunks.